This is Road Notes from the Traveling Saleslady. Short reads for sales professionals on the move. Today's piece: Nobody wants to be sold. Nobody wants to be sold. They want to be helped. The word selling might be the biggest thing standing between you and a better close rate. Here's what happens when you drop it. At some point in every sales career, the job stops feeling like selling and starts feeling like something else. Problem solving, listening, connecting people to outcomes they actually want. The reps who make that shift tend to get better results. The ones who never make it keep wondering why their pitch isn't landing. The shift isn't semantic. It's structural. When you're selling, the frame is yours. Your product, your quota, your timeline. When you're servicing, the frame belongs to the buyer. What do they need? What does success look like from where they're standing? What's the gap between where they are and where they want to be? And can you actually close it? Modern buyers are more informed, more skeptical, and more impatient than they have ever been. They've already done the research. They don't need a feature walkthrough. They need someone who understands their problem well enough to tell them honestly whether the solution is a fit. That kind of conversation doesn't start with a pitch. It starts with a question and the discipline to actually wait for the answer. The reps who have crossed over into servicing aren't softer or less driven. They are often sharper because they have stopped wasting energy on deals that were never going to close and started investing it in the ones that will. Knowing the difference requires understanding the buyer's perspective, not just your own. That is a skill that can be learned, and it changes everything downstream. Change happens at the speed of trust, and trust doesn't start until you stop making the conversation about yourself. Here's the good news. You don't have to stop being a sales professional to start being a service-first one. You just have to reorder the priorities. Place the problem first, and your product or service second. The close takes care of itself when the first two are done right. 3 things for your consideration. 1. What outcome is your buyer actually trying to buy? It's not a feature. It's not the product. It is the change they want on the other side of the decision. If you can't articulate that in their words, you're still selling from your frame, not theirs. Get curious before you get convincing. 2. Are you listening to understand or listening to respond? There's a version of active listening that's really just waiting for your turn. The prospect can feel the difference. Real listening means you are willing to hear something that changes your approach, even if it's inconvenient. That willingness is what signals to a buyer that you're safe to trust. 3. Would your last 3 clients describe you as a seller or a resource? Not how you would describe yourself, how they would. There's often a gap between the two. If you're not sure, that's your answer. The reps who have made the shift tend to hear words like trusted, honest, and helpful from their clients. Those words close more deals than any technique. Selling is a transaction. Servicing is a relationship. One of them scales. The other one compounds. You already know which is which. That's Road Notes from the Traveling Saleslady. If this one resonated with you, the full conversation that inspired it is waiting for you on the Traveling Saleslady podcast. Find it wherever you listen. See you on the road and journey on. Road Notes is a production of the Traveling Saleslady in partnership with Brilliant Beam Media.